there. Welcome to part two. So, this is a very special session because Amyee is going to be doing a life coaching with me. Very vulnerable, open. So, there are three things nurses or just women we have a really hard time with: one, saying no, two, setting boundaries, and three, people pleasing. I pick people pleasing because saying no and setting boundaries usually get we usually run over it because we are trying to please people, especially coming from service. Most of us, we are born to serve, but it goes over into people pleasing. So we're gonna just get into it. Amyee, you take it away.
Yes. Well, thank you for trusting first. Thank you for trusting and showing up and asking me to be here. I first wanted to, because the introduction really is perfect in that we're going to talk about your relationship with people pleasing today, and specifically around saying no and how that shows up for you and some boundaries. And what I wanted to offer first was, I do a lot of nervous system somatic coaching. And so I like to intro with, sometimes people talk about people pleasing as if they are that thing, right? So they say, I'm a people pleaser. But really, people pleasing is a response in the nervous system of not feeling safe. It's the fawn response. It's a survival response. So if I can intro that of saying, like, when we don't feel safe, our body, everybody on this planet has a certain tendency to go towards, which is established early on in life. Our formative years, we usually go towards one tendency because of our relationship with care providers or whatever else is happening in our world at that time. So people with a people-pleasing dominant response, a fawn response, learned early on that they needed to pay attention to what was happening outside of themselves, what their care providers were doing, what their emotional state was. They learned that it was their needs were met and they were cared for more when they were caring for others. So it starts early, right? We're caring for other people. We're paying attention to their emotions. We're buffering any conflict, right? Because that makes us, like, obviously we receive more when people aren't fighting. So this also is the formulation of why we choose the relationships that we choose, the work that we choose. Even our relationship with money is connected to our dominant nervous system state, survival response, right? Just like that intro, I think, is important because that fawn response, that dominant fawn response, can show up or impact our relationship with how we care for ourselves, or don't, maybe. If we overextend, we overgive, we have a hard time saying no. We have a hard time holding boundaries or setting boundaries. Conflict can be hard to navigate from that place. And also, it can be this reliance on external validation for our worth. So everything is kind of like connected to that, right? It's our relationship to ourself. It's our relationship to our power. It's our relationship to how nourished we are and how cared for we are. So there's a lot in that, right? And I know this is something, just from working with you, this is something that, like, I have this as well. Like, I have a really dominant fawn response that I've recovered.
Yeah, most nurses do. I really do believe most nurses do.
Yes. So I'm still working on that in myself, to be vulnerable with you, right? Like, me too. And from working with you, I know this is something that we've worked a lot on. And I was curious in this season, how it feels for you to set boundaries, how it feels for you to say no to things, and what is coming through after working together for a couple months.
So in setting boundaries, I think I am happy that now that I know what a boundary is, so I can set them. Now it's working on maintaining them. And usually the wanting to please other people or not wanting to see them angry or upset or displeased is what keep etching at the boundary a little bit, a little bit, a little bit until the boundary is broken. So it's set. We're at the point where it's set, but it's not staying.
What happens then? How does that boundary compromise or that invasion happen?
It happens gradually. It happens with all the tiny And before I know it, it's, whoa, I'm really far gone. And the no is very dramatic, like, oh, no, you're about to get cussed out now. It's absolutely no, right? But it
Yeah.
was little tiny yeses that I didn't stop. I didn't pull back on until it's a big flat out no.
Yeah. So it's interesting to watch you because you're like, when you set the boundary, it's like out here, right? That
Mhm.
boundary is out here, and you're like, it's out here. And then mannerisms are really important and interesting to watch because, like, you're like, it got kind of creeped back into here. And then you realize, like, like,
Yes,
no,
yes,
right? Like,
yes, no, yeah, yeah.
no. And it kind of came with, like, maybe a little bit of a fight response, like, oh,
Mhm.
that
Yes,
energy, that
yes,
push out, right? Yeah.
yes.
Is that the pattern? Is that the pattern of, like, I set the boundary, it feels kind of hard and edgy when I do it, and then it kind of creeps back in, and all of a sudden,
Yes.
no.
Yes, yes, that's the pattern. That's the pattern. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I will be nice until I can't be nice anymore, but then it's like really uncomfortable. It's like, well, you should have gotten uncomfortable sooner. You should have said no sooner.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Do you know in the moment when you should have said no?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
What happens then?
I know it because that voice inside is saying no, and I'm overriding it. It's saying, Casey, stop now. Shut up now. Go use the bathroom now. Pause now. Hang up now. End the conversation now. It's telling me very clearly. It's very clear when I should stop. But
Mm.
then it's like, well, I don't want to make them feel bad, or oh gosh, I don't want to sound crass, or I don't want to sound like harsh, And it's
Mm.
like before I realize, like, you should have done that like 20 minutes ago.
Mm.
Phone. I mean, even it's so silly, even like with telemarketers, like you shouldn't have even answered. You
Uh-huh.
shouldn't have even picked up that call. It tells me very, very clearly.
Yeah. Yeah. What if you listened? Not just listened. What if you honored? Instead of shoulded, because I hear the should. The shoulds are like super loud. I'm curious about who that should is, because it's like, you should do this, and you should do this, and you should do this, and it feels like there's like this little voice like, hey, you need to go to the bathroom, Casey.
Yes, yes, yes. What if I honored it? There is some discomfort there in honoring it.
Where do you notice it? Where do you notice the discomfort?
In my stomach, there's a discomfort.
What if you put your hand there? What happens now?
It's a feeling. It feels safe. It
Uh-huh.
feels safe. Yeah,
Mm.
it feels safe. It it it. What's coming through right now, Amy, is that when I put my hand there, just being honest, what came through to me is you're a person too. You
Mm.
too are a person.
Mm.
That's what came through to me.
Yeah. How does it feel to say that I'm a person too? You're a person too.
It feels powerful because usually when I go past the boundary, I am really all in to the other person or the other thing happening, the external. And I'm taking, well, this is gonna this is gonna inconvenience them, or this is gonna really put them out. But putting my hand here, now I'm thinking, think about you too. You're in the
Mm.
situation.
Yeah. Yeah. It's bringing you back into the equation as well. It's a reprioritization of you.
Yeah.
And I also sense this softening in your system, like this, like, Yeah, I can slow down and be here with her for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting to hear you talk, because what I notice in this conversation is it wasn't somebody else that's overriding your boundary. It was you that was overriding the boundary again, again, again. Right. So sometimes it can be other external people like invading our space. Right.
Mhm.
That's happening in my life right now a lot.
It happens. It happens.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then also it's like, oh, actually it's me that's like
Yeah.
continuously like overriding it and overriding it and overriding it.
Yeah.
I would ask you, like, what is the impact of that override versus, maybe we go there later, but like versus what is the impact of slowing down and listening and honoring and just meeting her? I'm a person too.
Yeah. I like that. I think it's something that I would like to try in the moment while it's happening.
Uh-huh.
Um, it's something that I think I'm not even, it sounds really bad, but it's like I'm not even aware of myself in the moment. And
Mm-hmm.
that's where the boundaries get pushed because I'm not thinking about myself. I'm
Mm-hmm.
really thinking about everything else, everybody else, everything else. So in the moment, I don't enter into that space.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, I'll
So,
wait until after.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So it feels like the micro shift could be a slowdown in the moment, a slowdown and a check-in, an intentional, like, what am I feeling in this moment? What if I brought the attention back to me and my humanness in this moment?
Mhm.
And there's a reconnection that's like longing to happen more,
Yeah.
as well as that probably feels a little edgy. That probably feels a little, like you said, spoke into, of like, oh, that feels like I have to keep going. I have to keep looking. That's going to be uncomfortable for them, or we perceive it as that, right? That's the programming. That's the safety response, the thought forms that come from that.
Yes.
Yeah.
This has been like all my life, but now I'm a little bit more aware of it. Um, but
Mm-hmm.
I think even just putting my when I hear that voice, just putting my hand on my heart or my belly, because when I did that, I really did feel myself.
Yeah.
You did too.
Yeah. So that's important. So it's great. Like, yeah, making it be kind of like an anchor or a check-in point of, I'm gonna bring that self-touch. I'm gonna bring in my hand to touch something on the body that maybe you notice. Like if you're noticing a tightening in the belly, if you're noticing a clenching in the chest or like a heaviness in the chest, like just allowing yourself to check in.
Mhm. It's
What
true.
what is here? Can I slow down for a second and take a couple breaths? 3 deep breaths, letting my belly breathe, letting my chest breathe. And sometimes that's going to make it worse. So it's going to not worse, but it's going to intensify that feeling. We'll notice it more because as we slow down, that breath is an amplifier. So it might amplify things that you're like, oh gosh, I'm in work. I can't feel this sadness or rage yet.
Yeah. Yes.
So that's also, sometimes that can happen, but also be like, oh, I'm a person too. I really need to drink the water.
Yes.
And
Sometimes it's small like that. Like just drink water.
yeah. And can then the next little step, the next little micro step is the honoring. It is like, I'm going to grab a water. I'm going to do the crazy thing and get up from this meeting and go to the bathroom.
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's so true. Now that you say that, I so much of my, especially when I started off in nursing, I thought it was like they're not giving me a break, or they're giving me so much to do. It was so external that I felt like they were always invading on my boundaries. And
Mm-hmm.
as I get more seasoned in working through this, I realized no, it was me. They don't have they don't have that power until I give it to them. And I was constantly giving it to them. Can I take a break now? Can I use the bathroom? Can somebody watch my patient while I go, get some fresh air? It was always I had to wait for someone else to do something for me.
Ooh, yeah.
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 So using that example, what would be, and for any nurses or people in healthcare especially, what would be the shift for you in this body? Would it be, instead of waiting, what would you do instead?
So I think where I want to be is when I hear my mind says, Casey, remember me? And I really want to be at the point where I could say, okay, this is a hard no. But I don't think that that's where I'm going. I think where I'm going to is saying, okay, I'm hearing a voice out there and I'm hearing a voice within, and I just need a moment to process it. I think what I do is I just ignore the voice within.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you need a moment. You need to take a pause, that intentional pause, that intentional exhale.
Yeah.
What's coming through for you?
I was just thinking, like, I work late, and I was just thinking, I did not mean to work late. I said, okay, this is my cutoff time, but something happened and it came across urgent, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is urgent. So urgent was like, oh, you just have to bypass whatever you're going through. And it's like, no, 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 no. That's from the outside. So what does the inside have to say? I said someone else's emergency is not my urgency, right?
Repeat that. What is that?
That's in my inside. My insides, if I really stop and say, what's my inside saying? My inside is saying someone else's emergency is not my urgency.
Yeah.
But the outside is saying, this is urgent, get it done right now.
Yeah. Even as you say that, what does that do to your body when you hear that external pressure, that external, like, do it faster and do it now? Like, what? Yeah. Yes.
Racing, tightness, numbing out.
The jaw too. Yep.
Jaw tense. Done. Yeah. Very tense. Everything is tense.
So there's this like slow down and this, no, I'm going to take a moment. I'm just going to breathe. And really, this doesn't take long. We like to get into this big thing, but it's like 30 seconds of intentional breath can really shift your entire life and how you operate and how your body feels. And so there is this micro shift that's asking, it's like just taking that pause, that sacred exhale and inhale and being like, oh, okay.
It seems so slight, but it does so much. I could feel it. I could feel it.
And as you're breathing, you can really practice a simple somatic check-in. It's just, can I feel my feet on the floor right now? Sometimes when we're really spun up, we won't have sensation in the lower half of the body. And so especially if a lot of heady stuff is happening. So it's really like, can I allow myself to just, can I feel my feet and check in as I'm taking these deep belly breaths? And then I can allow myself to sink into the chair. So not holding my weight up or leaning forward, but just letting myself rest into my chair and noticing how it feels to sit in my chair. Letting my body be supported just for a moment longer.
It's good.
It's good. Yeah. And also, it doesn't have to feel good. We can notice as we slow down, we're like, ooh, my shoulders feel like I'm holding 2 tons of bricks on them. And And that's a check-in too, right?
It's true.
Or I'm feeling like so much tightness in my diaphragm, and I feel like my heart is racing through through my chest. And it's not necessarily like when we slow down, it can be so nourishing for the nervous system, and it can drop us into a different state. And also we can notice things that we wouldn't if we're continuously like in that activation, that movement. So it's all welcoming it all. Right? Yeah.
I feel like even in just that moment of taking a couple of deep breaths, allowing the chair to hold me, I feel lighter. I feel like I'm in a different space.
Beautiful.
I do. This is
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah. So that's the next little step, right? In honoring your boundaries. It's like the awareness, it's like the awareness has to be there first.
Yeah.
And the little action step has to be there first of, I'm going to just take a pause and check in. And who knows, maybe the next thing is like, oh, no, after that, I'm just going to go into my worker mode, disconnect mode. But the next time my pause is a little bit longer, and maybe I do get up and take the water, and maybe I do walk to the bathroom. Maybe I do close my door and say, put on some Zen music and light a candle and like not let anyone talk to me for my break.
Little baby steps.
I
like it because it's a life. It's not just it's a lifestyle shift.
It is.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle shift. So it's gonna take some time.
Yeah. How are you feeling emotionally in this moment?
My emotions, I feel calm, supported. Shoulders doesn't feel so tense. I feel just grounded.
Yeah.
Just grounded.
Yeah.
I feel my feet on the floor.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know about that numbing. I could feel it.
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Where do you want to go next?
I want to try it. I want to try it. I want to capture the moments where I can hear two voices and not just one. Internal, external.
Where do you notice that you hear those two voices the most? Where does it show up in life, like making it real?
I think there's always I think they're always there. I just think when like if it's something critical, I guess when that adrenaline shifts to the fight flight, I just stop hearing the internal. No, I just turn it off. It's still there, but I just turn it off. I tune it out.
So really, anytime you go into that fight flight mode, of course, we're going to be out of our connection as much. If we're completely in fight flight, for sure, that's our body's doing its job, right? But really, when you're noticing, oh yeah, I'm feeling a certain way, which means I'm in fight flight, and actually that would be a really great thing to name. How do you know you're in that fight energy? We'll just name fight. How do you know you're in fight? What does it feel like for you?
Heart racing, just I go into a mode that blocks everything out. Like get it done and don't come out until it's done. Yeah. But when I come out, then I realize if I was not in that mode, I would have processed differently and maybe even more effectively.
Yeah. Yeah. So what I hear is that you kind of, or what I know from you, this is me from working with you, you go into a fight flight or a fight energy when you work.
Yes.
Is that true?
Yes.
So your work mode is a fight mode. And I want to make a distinction here. Like you can have healthy activation energy, like healthy sympathetic when we work out, for example. That's like our body's mobilization. We're working out, we're lifting weights, like we're doing the thing, but we can still be connected to ourselves. And I think the difference in where you're going is that you're going to have a little bit of that mobilization energy, the little bit of the I'm getting things done, but I'm still connected to myself. I'm still clear. I'm still feeling calm, and the softness is still there too.
Yes.
But my output is through the roof because I'm also able to listen to my body, to honor whatever it's telling me to do. And I'm nourished from that place.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So it's really shifting your work mode to regulated mode.
Regulated. Yeah.
And that's a big thing. That's a big deal. I know that me too. Like I have a mission mode that has a lot of fight energy, and it's pretty easy for me, especially like my history is commercial fishing and then emergency room medicine. And like, I can power through anything. I'm like, get it done. And that means that there is nothing happening here for a long period of time.
Yeah.
And we know, just being in the field, like what happens when we're not connected to our physiology. There's a lot, right? We just end up like storing a lot of things. Our body's not being cared for. We're not absorbing nutrients. We're not listening. So
it's true, because sometimes you can find on yourself, you're like, when did that happen? Or you didn't even feel hungry. Like I'd say I wasn't even hungry because I didn't eat all day, but I wasn't hungry because I was in that mode.
You're in the mission mode. That's also fight mode. Yeah. Thank you for sharing and being vulnerable with your people. I know this is an edge in itself.
But it's high level coaching is something that not many people get to experience, and it takes to say yes. It takes a lot of different layers, but I believe in the oneness of humanity, and I believe we all have very similar pains. And so being a fly on the wall can be helpful.
Yeah. What, from your journey, because you're a high achieving, like big time energy, Oprah energy woman, like powerful woman. And I'm wondering, knowing you, and you have big dreams and goals and you're doing amazing work in the world at the same time as you're doing your own healing work and your own deeper excavation work. What words of wisdom do you have for somebody that might resonate with the share today?
I think some words of wisdom is count yourself in the experience and the journey of life. So many times, especially when your purpose on this earth is to serve other people, we forget that our joy is service. Our own joy, our own being in the moment, our own presence in the moment serves other people energetically, not just only physically, but energetically. Very powerful to be present, truly present.
Yeah. What helps you be present in this season? What helps you most?
Being in my body and not just in my head. And taking in all of the information that's coming to me, not just through my eyes or my ears, but what's going on in my body. Because just like how sometimes your body is processing, like I could sit down next to someone and I could hear their stomach gurgling, right? And they might be hungry, or they might be really nervous, their body might not feel safe. So I think just taking in information from inside what's going on in your body tells a lot. Pains up. You're like, you have a pain in your shoulder, your pain in your head, like pain in your foot from nowhere, This is the body trying to talk to you. And I believe in listening to all the information before it starts screaming at you and then it stops functioning.
It's very true. Yes. Nail on the head. And it also speaks to the gift of healers, of care providers, of nurses, in that we can often feel and be with someone else's pain, like the stomach gurgling, and like we can go into other people quite easily, right? So it's like, oh, I can go and feel his pain. The work is like not taking it on, being able to be with it at the same time is like, I also am with myself.
That was really hard. I think I didn't understand how to do that until I worked with you, Amyee, because I didn't realize how much of an empath I am. I know I feel things that's not all mine, but I didn't know how to draw what's okay, this is yours and this is mine. And I acknowledge and understand yours. And I could even help you hold it for some time, but it does not belong to me. And I didn't know how to disconnect from that.
Yes,
Mhm.
that. And that's the beautiful thing about the boundary work, right? So that's the beautiful bridge of when we are setting boundaries in life and learning how to set boundaries for ourselves and holding ourselves in our boundaries as well as other people. That also is going down to the cellular level and the energetic level of like, oh, I know how to separate myself from someone else and not like merge into somebody or let them merge into me, right? And take on everything. Like, so that is, it's like the real lived version boundaries, and then down to the like cellular level of cellular energetic, like all of that.
And
So
I
yeah.
learned that from you too, Amyee, because I allow people to merge into me. And then I realize you're not a bad person if there are days and times that you just don't have the capacity to take on other people's feelings or allow them into your space. I learned about privacy and energetic privacy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Energetic privacy. Mhm.
And healing with versus healing for, or like, holding with instead of doing it for that
Yeah,
fixer, that rescuer. So that's a big distinction. That's a
yeah,
big separation, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Fire. Yes.
I think that's really helped me with my even this show that I have, Meet the Experts. I reach out to people. I view them very highly, like they are the expert, but I don't feel as though I don't feel like I need to convince them. Some people I will work with more than I am working with on a podcast, but not everybody I will, and not everybody I feel called to, or a one and done would be just fine, and some people it would morph into more, and I just flow with it and let it be free.
Can you tell me, yeah, let it be free. Can you tell me more about that process and that journey for you of choosing of who you're going to work with versus maybe the other?
Yes, this was very powerful. And I have to thank you because you really helped me through this. I used to think because someone wanted to work with me that, oh my gosh, this is wonderful because they're going to pay me. And, like, this is amazing. I have to take this work. And I realized, no, I have to feel it in my body and it has to be in alignment. And so, not everybody, I can honor them and I can really love to show them visibly, but I may not be called to work with them. So I release them, just like the breath. You take in some breaths you hold, and some breaths you let out real quickly.
That exhale is just as important as that inhale. Yes.
Yes, yes. So not everyone will want to work with me, and not everyone I will invite into this container
Mhm.
because it may just not align with me or them or where we want to go together, or it might just not be the right time.
Yeah. How do you know the difference? Like, how do you know if somebody is like, yes, or it's like, oh, I respect you and I see you and no, no, not meant to be.
I go for the 3 wins. I go for the 3 wins. So when I ask them, first of all, when I want to interview someone and they're like, oh my gosh, yes, yes. And I feel, oh my gosh, yes. And then together we're like, oh my gosh, yes, let's do it. Then, okay, that's the 3 wins. If they're like, oh, I don't have time, I leave it. I say if they book, they book. If they don't book, well, well. But
Hmm.
I don't pursue anymore. Before the old Casey, I would be trying to explain, or like I talk about proving energy. I would be trying to prove, well, I can help you with this, or I could show this, or my platform could do this. And I'm not into proving energy. They don't have to prove to me, and I don't have to prove to them. We're
Yep.
just going with the energy.
No proven energy. That
Yes.
is a big shift
Yeah.
too of
Mm.
for all of us of like, I don't have anything to prove. I don't need to explain myself.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. When
Yeah.
I was coaching with you, when I met you, actually, I met you, I was reaching out to you for something else. And
Yes.
I was like, this is powerful. She's not trying to convince me to coach with her. She's not trying to prove herself. She's not even told. I didn't even know you had credentials. I never even asked to see if you certified nurse coach. I didn't even ask any of that. None of it. But it was just this higher level energy. You didn't over talk. You didn't oversell. You knew what you had. You knew what you had to offer. You know who you were and how you would show up, and you just laid it out there. No
Mm.
proving energy. No approving.
And I can tell you, it took me a while to get there. So yes, yes, and like there's some intentional work behind the scenes, right?
Yeah,
Of like holding that steadiness and being like, this is what I am, this is who I am, this is my transmission, and this is what I offer. And if it's a yes, it's a yes, and if it's a no, great too, right? Like
yes.
there's no attachment to it. There's no clinginess. There's no like coming out of ourselves and being like, oh, let me make sure you know, right? Like how good I am and how much I've done, which could be true. But when we're coming from that, like this
Yeah.
energy, it's
Very
different. Yeah. Yes.
And that's where people feel salesy and they feel like, I don't want to be salesy. I don't want to do that. And so when I talk about marketing, I'm like, no, this is not salesy. This is invitations because we are inviting people into the sacred container, in the sacred space to be with us.
Yeah. Yes. That big difference.
Yes.
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 Anything else today that you want to go into for your people, for me? Anything else I can hold you in?
I think I want to do another one if in time. Let's see how this lands. But I think I would like to do another one about saying no.
Yeah.
It's one thing to have the boundary, and it's another thing to say, okay, this boundary is about to be broken, so I have to use no, and they're not gonna like it.
I'm here for that. I'm here for that. And I would love it's a heck yes for me. So, yeah.
Yeah, see? So together, that's a yes, yes, yes. Let's do it. So who cares how it lands? We're gonna do it. See?
Yeah, totally. It's worth the conversation. Yeah. And also for many people in the world and many women in particular, like saying no can bring up so much. So I'm yes to the saying no.
Saying no. Yes,
Yes.
it's an art.
Yeah, it is.
Amy, thank you for holding me in this container. This is wonderful.
Absolutely. It's an honor. It's an honor. And thank you for trusting and inviting me in.
Yes,
I'm
I
here.
love it.
Yeah.
And viewers, thank you for listening. I hope you got some gems, some nuggets.
Yeah. Yes. We'll see you soon.
See you soon. Thank you.